male did first.
Okay.
Yeah. Every time I need to try to give
Okay, ready? Okay. Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. So find a seat, get comfortable, please. And David, come on in, come join us. So just find a place to get comfortable and let's spend some quality time together.
Emiliana, find one seat for David.
Well, we appreciate you all joining us today, and we would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to everyone here as we gather on this auspicious day to celebrate His Holiness the Dalai Lama's birthday. Today, we join our hands, our hearts, and spirits as we rejoice in the wisdom, the compassion, and profound influence of a truly remarkable human being. We honor and pay tribute to a spiritual leader, an advocate for peace, and a beacon of compassion. Today's celebration is not just a commemoration of His Holiness' birth, but it's also a testament to the values that he embodies. It serves as a reminder of the universal principles he advocates for: empathy, nonviolence, and the pursuit of inner peace. His teachings of love, kindness, and wisdom have touched hearts globally, transcending the boundaries of culture, religion, and nationality. His unwavering commitment to the welfare of humanity has inspired millions to strive for a more harmonious and compassionate world. May this celebration today catalyze further growth, unity, and enlightenment as we all work towards a more compassionate and harmonious future. Together, let us embrace these teachings and reflect upon how we can apply them in our own lives, making a positive difference in the world that we all share. Thank you for being here today, and we would like to welcome Mr. Art Cisneros to do a traditional Shumash blessing.
Haku, haku. I'm honored to be here to invite the spirit world from my tradition. It is an everyday practice that we will invoke all of our helpers here in this reality to assist us in this instance, praying for the health and the happiness of His Holiness. We all need prayers. Together, we can manifest great things. So I'd like to begin by describing how this is going to work. I will invite every being and energy that is part of our reality. We are all part of God, and that is the first part of this prayer. The spark in the great mystery in God is the same spark in us. We are literally part of God. And so we are at the center of the universe, and that's what this prayer is about. I will invoke the universe, the stars, the moon, sun, and all the energies that exist here for us, for our health and our happiness. Kokile nod ma ute henno no yakti pakbawil antiki no yakti pakbawil tobet no yakti pakbawil alapa akiwa ana alish no yakti pakbawil kote kapkap no yakti pakbawil mubu iktilimu alawa mahalawa no yakti pakbawil nod ao kote no yakti pakbawil ahiwo no yakti pakbawil akwi Nagdi pagpawil moho, nagdi pagpawil yaknot, nagdi pagpawil hus, nagdi pagpawil kanud, nagdi pagpawil thespi, nagdi pagpawil ayuisi, nagdi pagpawil kuwu, ko, hup, biwak, nagdi pagpawil alkup, nagdi pagpawil owo, Nước đi Bakwil Tasen, nước đi Bakwil Ahima, nước đi Bakwil Matik Wheat, nước đi Bakwil Alaho, Lapka, Waska. Sumasumako. Health and happiness for His Holiness the Dalai Lama and everyone here, and everyone that you are in relationship with. Not just your family, but your workmates and all those people that you interact with. You all do good works, and I'm so grateful for being here. Thank you. Kweme, may it please you.
Thank you. And that's for you. Okay. This is, you can say what is the book is.
Toward true kinship of faith. How appropriate that we're all here from different faiths. And His Holiness is the embodiment of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Art, for that beautiful prayer. I would like to now invite our host for this evening, the Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes, to share some words with us.
Welcome, everyone, and namaste. I like to always start a group of people by saying hello from my heart. Let us say that together. Hello from my heart. It opens us up and it brings forth that consciousness and that wonderful bridge, the heart chakra, that allows the truth to settle in. It is truly our honor here at Unity to host the Dalai Lama's birthday. It always has been, and we're so grateful that you always choose for us to do it. That being said, you know, his teaching is such mainstream now, and he has greatly impacted the organization called New Thought. In that, to give you a little bit of an idea, Barbara Fields, that leads the Association of Global New Thought, introduced us to a lot of the individuals, such as the people here tonight. And they went to Italy and went on this real quest to bring in Dalai Lama's teachings. And just as a frame of reference, when we look at the world and the notifications with the news and all the, you know, other things, as we say, don't let breaking news break us. That being said, in the Parliament of the World Religions in 2015, they allowed New Thought to teach one class, and they allowed us to say that we were a religion. What a concept. And that being said, this year in Chicago, 30 years of the Parliament of the World Religions, New Thought has 24 sessions. So collectively, yeah, we clap here, yeah. Collectively, we are making a difference. And yes, we are here on one level to celebrate this incredible human being that has brought the desire for all of us to be better humans. I adore that about him. He has not set out to replace his humanity. He has taught us that the more spiritual you become, the more depth you have in being human. But he also invites and invokes each of us, as we think about his birthday, to think about the qualities that he carries, that this day can be born at a deeper level within us. So it's a pleasure to be here. We have a collective understanding. It'll be interesting to see what unfolds, not only tonight, but moving forward. I just have one request, and that is that you would honor the sacredness of everyone here and not go back and forth with the sliding doors. I know they're exciting, but when you're exiting, if you would just go, if you need to leave early or go to the restroom, if you would just please use the back door to hold the container of what the intentions are. Again, namaste. From my heart to yours, thank you for taking the time in your life to be here at this moment. I think it's bigger than what we all think. Yes.
We We are blessed to have some local representatives here with us tonight, and I would like to give a warm welcome to our Santa Barbara Mayor, Randy Rouse. I hope I got the last name pronunciation right. Please come up and join us for a few words.
Please, this microphone. Good evening, everyone. So, the further I get along in my political career, the more, and I realize that it's our spiritual leaders that we should be listening to. Our political, military leaders around the world haven't led us in a very good path, so it's pretty nice to be here tonight. Speaking with the Dalai Lama, we've got Father Larry right here. Does it get any better than that? This is good stuff. So, I have a little proclamation from the city of Santa Barbara, and I'd like to read that today about Compassion Day, July 6, 2023. Whereas on July 6, 2023, people across the nation, including Tibetan Americans living in Santa Barbara and throughout the country, will gather to celebrate the 88th birthday of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And whereas the city of Santa Barbara has a diverse ethnic population, including Tibetan Americans who regard the Dalai Lama as an international advocate for peace and compassion, and whereas His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama received the Congressional Gold Medal in 2007 in recognition of his furtherance and of his contributions to peace, nonviolence, human rights, religious understandings, and compassion. And whereas the public is invited to join members of the local Himalayan community who will come together on July 6, 2023 for His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama's birthday celebration in Santa Barbara. Now, therefore, I, Randy Rouse, by virtue of authority vested in me in the Mayor of the City of Santa Barbara, California, do hereby proclaim July 6th, 2023 as Compassion Day in the City of Santa Barbara to coincide with His Holiness of the Dalai Lama's 88th birthday. I encourage all community members to be considerate of others, explore ways to promote peace within the community, and to treat others with compassion. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to invite Board President Rebecca Waldorf from the Santa Barbara Zen Center to share a few words with us.
How auspicious to see us all gathered here in celebration. Deep gratitude to Thelpo for your invitation to say some words today. On behalf of Santa Barbara Zen Center, as president of the board of directors, I share this offering lovingly composed by Pamela Chobun Nenzen Brown, one of our teachers. She offers this blessing with a deep bow to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In expressing the Buddha's way here in the West, as it unfolds, we all recognize that in our time and in this place, there are real spiritual heroes, exemplars of the Buddha way. Suzuki Roshi, Thich Nhat Hanh, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama, among many others. On this joyous occasion of the 88th birthday of His Holiness, the small Sangha of Santa Barbara Zen Center offers its profound gratitude for the wonderful blessing of His Holiness's spirit presence, how it perfumes all the practice expressions of the Buddha's way here in the West and around the world. We join together to ask all the bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, deities, and dralas, all the protectors of the Dharma, and all the expressions of life through all space and time, to bless His Holiness, to bring forward and continue His wonderful teachings. May the Dharma body maintain his strength and health, and may the years of his life be lengthened. We pray that his vows be fully realized and that he live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma. We offer our blessings with deepest gratitude for his loving nurturance. May we all realize the Buddha way together. With a bow, Pamela. Thank you.
Yeah.
The next person I'd like to invite up is a father of two beautiful girls, a husband. We know him as Doss Williams. I like to think of him as someone who sends a beautiful Christmas card every year to stay connected with his constituents. So Doss, please come up and join us.
Well, as your county supervisor, I feel it is an important duty for all freedom-loving peoples to stand in solidarity with the Dalai Lama on his birthday. I know that as a man of purpose, the best way to celebrate his birthday is to remember the struggle. And I will also tell you from a personal standpoint, as a person of faith myself, a Christian, I feel that there is a special burden on the heart of every person of faith and person of conscience that we not allow a spark of the divine to be erased from the earth. And that's what really the attempt to blot out the culture of Tibet and the faith of Buddhism in China really is. And to talk about it like that is enormously important, because this century has seen a lot of suffering incurred by people feeling that it was important somehow for humanity to erase the divine spark. You see it in the killing fields of Cambodia, which I've visited. You see it in Tibet. You see it, unfortunately, 3 times in 1 century in Ukraine. And we as people of conscience, I think, have a duty, even when we are so far from maybe the front line of that suffering, to stand in solidarity with Tibet, with Tibetan Buddhism, and with the leader, both in the heart and in politics of both of those movements, the Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So I won't read all of the county resolution, but I will give you the punchline, which is, whereas the County of Santa Barbara affirms the determination of the Tibetan people to retain and protect their heritage through nonviolent, peaceful means, and supports His Holiness the Dalai Lama's commitments to promoting human values, religious harmony and understanding, and the preservation of the Tibetan Buddhist culture of compassion and peace. And I don't know if he's told you the book, but Toward a True Kinship of Faiths by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. This is a message and a hope that we should all strive for. Thank you.
So we're going to take a little break from having all of our guests come up and talk, because we have some pint-sized friends here with us today. And, those bedtimes are a little sooner than ours. So I would like to invite Maya Smith up. her family has association with Tibet since the 1800s, and she brought Interact Magic to Do Theater School, who will be joining us for a song along with Maya. So, girls, come on up with Maya, please. Hold on for a second. Oh, okay. Do what Maya tells you.
It's always best. I wanted to just quickly introduce myself. My name is Maya Smith, and yes, my family have been associated with Tibet since the late 1800s, which is a long time. I'm very honored to be here and sending felicitations to His Holiness. I have met him in the past, amazingly, in 2008, but originally the association with the family started with my great-grandfather up in the Himalayas. He was educated locally. He was a British citizen only by dint of his passport. He certainly didn't look very British, but he sounded British, and he could discuss and talk with people from many, many different faiths and many different countries. The Himalaya really is a melting pot of many different languages up there, and he was a naturally gifted linguist. So that really helped him. And when the Young Husband expedition came along in 1904, 1905, they asked him to be their interpreter. So he went off with them, and they reached Lhasa, and at some point after that, he was gifted this beautiful Mongolian court dress. I do know that it comes from Lhasa. I'm guessing it's probably from the early 1900s, but I'm not quite sure. He traveled extensively, and after the Young Husband expedition, he was asked by the British government to become the British trade agent in Tibet, which he did for a period of 20 years, and he wrote 2 books, The Land of the Lama and 20 Years in Tibet. And it's something which, once Tibet gets into your blood, I feel this now, all these years later, it never leaves. It really never leaves. My family decided to stay in India, where many Tibetans settled after leaving Tibet. They settled in Kalimpong, which is a small, old British hill station, mainly because the weather is so wonderful. It's a bit like Santa Barbara. And there they started a hotel, and that's where my parents met, in Kalimpong. And after the war, my father, who worked for the School of Oriental and African Studies in London, he traveled to Tibet in 1950. That was just before the Chinese came in. I honestly believe that he is probably the last European to see old Tibet as it was when it was free and independent. He took photographs, which was great, and he was probably the last European out when it was a free and independent country. I was very lucky. I spent my childhood in Kalimpong. It's a fabulous place. If you ever get the chance to go anywhere, please go to Kalimpong. It's a melting pot of different religions, everyone from every walk of life is there. And it's a place where things just really work. Everybody can get along, everybody does get along. And that is the way that I was brought up. And we see it every day in our lives today, how that is possible. I also married my husband, Monty, in Kalimpong. We did get married in the UK, but according to my father, that wasn't good enough. So we had to go back out to Kalimpong and do it all over again. It has been a great privilege to meet the Dalai Lama in 2008. My husband, Monty, and I got to meet him when he went to Oxford, and he did a meeting of all the families who were associated with Tibet from the past. So that was a wonderful thing to be able to do. So I welcome you later on to come and see this beautiful, beautiful piece of clothing. It is a Mongolian court dress. And as I said, I believe it's from the early 1900s, maybe a little earlier. The reason why I've got my lovely Interact hat on is because my daughter Emily and I, we use this beautiful space at Unity. We run a theatre school here, and through theatre, the children really are our future. Everything that they learn from us, and the importance right now of everybody being able to get along and be part of the same world in a very harmonious way, is something which I believe really all children need to know. And I'm sure that His Holiness would certainly agree with that. So they are our future, and we've prepared a short song rather quickly for today, and we have 4 of our current Interact students here to sing for you. So thank you very much, and if you'd like to ask me more, I will be around later, and if you'd like to come and see this, please do come after we finish. Thank you. Okay. Thanks.
Did I forget anything? Was that it? Okay. Every step, let this be my And peace begins right here and right now. Let us affirm our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds.
While we get that resolved, why don't we invite one of our local favorites? I love running into this person with a big smile on their face. Father Larry, why don't you come up and give us some words? And Father Larry is at the Old Mission of Santa Barbara.
Tipo and my dear friends and brothers and sisters, it's such a joy to be here tonight. It's such a blessing, isn't it, to be in solidarity with people of such goodwill and good intentions, such people of peace. And so we gather as one people. There's nothing that divides us. There's everything that unites us here. We're not divided, we are united in one aspiration, the aspiration of everything that's represented by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I'd like to say I'm wearing this stole, and I got this in Ladakh, which is the northern state, you know Ladakh, the northern state in India, in the Himalayas, and this is more than several years ago, but I was hiking through the Himalayas, and I met a Ladakhi, or a Tibetan, and I bought this from her. She made it, and I carried it on my back through the Himalayas, and finally ended up in Dharamsala. So this has been to Dharamsala, so this is very precious to me. But for me, this represents the idea of journey, a journey into the heights. And as has been said, you know you can't go into the Himalayas and you are changed. Whatever happens there, you know, people might say it's the altitude affects you, but it's the spiritualness. You're changed. You're literally changed. And once it gets into your blood and your soul, it is there. And so we gather in that elevation, spiritual elevation tonight, elevation of peace. And we know that there are many, many conflictive things in our world today. So many conflictive things. You know, and for us as spiritual people, our hearts are literally heartbroken on so much discord that we see. And yet we know, as the Dalai Lama says, love is the answer. The questions are profound, but the answer is simple. Love is the answer. And we see that love so beautifully expressed in his life and the life of course, the Tibetan people. And love, I think, is deepened, and I believe this is I know this is a Buddhist tradition, but love is deepened in suffering. Not that suffering is good, but the fruits of suffering are born out of that. And I think one of the greatest and most powerful gifts that come out of love caused by suffering is humility. We are humble people. The Tibetan people certainly are humbled people. They've been humbled by the atrocities that the Chinese have done to the country and the culture of Tibet, and they have been humbled by so many ways. But humility is a strength. It is not a weakness. And even Jesus says, "Blessed are the humble, for they will inherit the land." Blessed are the humble, for they will inherit the land. So, the land is ours. We've inherited it. This mother, the earth, is ours. We inherited it. Now the question is, how do we care for it? Pope Francis came out with a beautiful encyclical, Laudato Si, Care for Mother the Earth, in which he delineates different ways that we have to look with our care for Mother Earth, how we have to care for her. And we have to take the initiatives and the strength to care for her. A couple issues that are very important to me. The nuclear arms race. Have we forgotten about this? The nuclear arms race and how it is now a threat. How it has literally been used as a threat in Ukraine. This goes against all agreements of diplomacy. This breaks a barrier. And even now, we are looking at spending trillions of dollars in developing new Minuteman missiles and new nuclear weapons. We have to look at immigration issues. How do we respect the rights of people? And what more powerfully is represented by the Tibetan people who are immigrants out of their own country, out of their own culture. How do we respect the rights of immigrants? How do we respect the rights of the poor, those who are children of the earth, in so many different facets of life? How do we truly look at that and respect that? From my own tradition, St. Francis of Assisi, he was changed because he saw a poor person. And the man had leprosy, and he was repulsive to St. Francis. I don't want anything to do with that person. And then something came over him, and he said, what if that person were a divine person? Would you treat him that way, or her? He said, no. So he went up, and he embraced him against everything that he felt. And he said, in embracing him, what formerly had been ugly to me now became beautiful. And what formerly was beautiful now became ugly. And I was changed. So, my brothers and sisters, let us embrace all that is represented by this spiritual leader in our world today, the Dalai Lama, His Holiness. What a great witness, what a great life, what a great source of wisdom that he brings to us. But we love him. We love him. And just to put a physical face on this, we love his smile. His smile brings joy to everyone. And his words bring peace. And his life brings unity. So I'd like to end with a prayer. Thank you for your attention to me. Loving Creator, God of all, we thank you for the unity that we share as one people, as one heart, as one aspiration in our world to bring about the divine unity and harmony that is you. And may it be ours, and may it be given to all. May it be extended to our Mother, the earth, to the sky, to the earth, to the water, to the wind, to the seas. May everything be peace. May all be whole. May all be called to wholeness. And may in this wholeness, may we, in the words of St. Francis of Assisi, be instruments of peace. Amen. Thank you.
All right, so let's cheer the girls on. Let's give them a really nice welcome. Thank you.
Kings and things to take by storm.
So some of us probably walked here, others I think took the Amtrak from LA, and then some just drove up from Ventura. But we thank you for being here because it's still a trek, especially after work traffic. Maybe most of you don't know what I'm talking about, right? So I would like to welcome Dr. Tim Hilton from the Ventura County Interfaith Community to share some words with us.
Thank you so much, Heidi. What an honor to be here to help you celebrate the 88th birthday of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. What a wonderful spiritual leader he was. So I bring you greetings from the Ventura County Interfaith Community and our wishes for a happy birthday for him and many, many more years for him. The Dalai Lama once said, regarding those who promote harmony between various religions, I consider it very sacred work and very important work. We at Ventura County Interfaith Community have been dedicated to promoting interreligious dialogue for nearly 15 years now, and we're so glad to be here with you as we dialogue together about various faiths. We've got Christians here, I imagine we've got Jewish folks here, we've probably got a Muslim or two, I don't know, but we've got a lot of Buddhists here. And it's just good to be with you and to celebrate interfaith dialogue. Interfaith dialogue is important for several reasons. First of all, it's important because it's a peacemaking activity. Our nation and our world is riven with interreligious fights and interreligious disagreement. But when you get people sitting around a table, when you get people of different faiths sitting next to each other, celebrating the Dalai Lama's birthday, it's hard to dislike the person that's sitting next to you. It's hard to dislike the person that's sitting across the table from you. And so interreligious dining together, as we'll be doing after the celebration, is so important for its peacemaking aspect. It's important also because our religious traditions demand it. Judaism, for one instance, is a religion where Abraham was told that the Jews would be a blessing to all of the nations. You can't be a blessing to other people of other religions unless you're in dialogue and fellowship with them. Christians, too, are told that they're to be lights to the world. And it's hard to be a light to the world unless you're out amongst people of different faiths, enjoying fellowship with them. Muslims even say that God made the different tribes and nations so that they could be known by Muslims. And so again, there's that imperative to be a part of fellowship with other religious communities. Interreligious dialogue is important for a third reason, and that's religious revitalization. I learned so much from different religions. I'm a Christian, but when I learn about dependent arising in the Buddhist thought, where everything is connected, I'm reminded my faith is not shaken. My faith does not become fearful. It becomes enriched by knowing that, learning a truth from a different faith. So differences and similarities, we celebrate the similarities, but we can learn from the differences. Finally, I just want to say thank you, Thapo, for encouraging the Ventura County Interfaith Community by your participation in the last couple of years. Thank you very much for allowing me to be with you. Oh, forgot.
You cannot miss that one.
Thank you.
We have another friend from Ventura whom we're grateful for making the trek up here. I would like to invite Venerable Chuk Hiem from the Ventura Vietnamese Temple to do a special prayer for us.
Good evening, everybody. I'm from Alak Mission in Ventura. I'm so happy today here with you. I'm very happy attend for the Dalai Lama birthday. I would like to invite everybody, can please stand up and pray for him and for Paul. Thank you. Nguyện Ngài an lành đêm an lành đêm Ngài giáo thời đều an lành tất cả các thời đều an lành xin nguyện từ bi thượng gia hộ nguyện Ngài an lành đêm an lành đêm Ngài giáo thời đều an lành tất cả các thời đều an lành xin nguyện từ bi thượng gia hộ nguyện Ngài an lành đêm an lành đêm Ngài giáo thời đều an lành tất cả các thời đều an lành xin nguyện từ bi thượng gia hộ Nam mô Tiêu Tai Giang Các Tường Bồ Tát. Nam mô Tiêu Tai Giang Các Tường Bồ Tát. Nam mô Tiêu Tai Giang Các Tường Bồ Tát. Mãi hại tác nguyện đem công đức này hướng về khắp tất cả đệ tử và chúng sanh đều trọn thành Phật đạo. Thank you so much. Please sit down. Thank you.
Thank you for that prayer. We have a very special treat. We have a really special guest among us. And sorry if I mispronounce. We have the only Tibetan Grammy-nominated Nagwan Kenchong, who will be delighting us with a song. So Nagwan, please join us.
May His Holiness the Dalai Lama live long and able to benefit whole humanity and all sentient beings. May all be kind to each other. May all be kind to each other. May all be kind to each other. Tibet become free and zone of peace. May Tibet become free and zone of peace. Can you please welcome Emiliano for help me with my chant? I'm going to do a Tibetan overtone chanting as well as Mongolian also overtone chanting, mixed a little bit. And that's Chisi Namka Nebatang Roa Chisi Negurba Tisi Tani Negune Roetungi Sevasho. So that was, by the way, first I chanted in overtone chanting. That was traditional long life prayer of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And the second one I chanted very softly on this mic. So that is the heartmost prayer of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It's about universal love, universal compassion. The brief translation of that goes something like this. For as long as space endures, for as long as suffering sentient beings are there, may I remain until then and forever solve the suffering of sentient beings.
And Ngawala, he is my childhood friend. For how many years? 40 years? Yeah, we were same teacher when I was a little boy. And that time he was very serious from the little boy. He's very serious. He doesn't talk much. I was like going around, and he's like... Anyhow, today, Allah was very appreciative for you come here voluntarily. He said, Tepo, I love to come here to participate part of your day. I invited, and he very happy to join here, to meet all our community here. And he also here, Santa Baba is beautiful. But he haven't seen the Santa Baba yet. From the airport, I dropped him here to practice. Then I take him home, he helped me to make the Tibetan food. So he haven't seen it yet. Anyhow, He had the CD, he had the book, he's going to sign. Anybody want to sign, he will be available later. So thank you for Ngawala. He been very much vocal. He was very peaceful man and also very benefit for many, many human beings, be happiness and be continue.
What a delight. Thank you. I would like to welcome Ethan Bertrand from the California State Assembly to share a few words with us.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ethan Bertrand. I'm pleased to be here tonight on behalf of my boss, Assemblymember Greg Hart. Before I read our recognition, I'll just say, sitting in the audience here, you can feel the peace, the compassion, and the kindness that's present in this room as we honor the Dalai Lama. So on behalf of the California State Assembly, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, is celebrated on his 88th birthday. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, is an international advocate for peace and compassion. The community of Santa Barbara joins with communities around the world to celebrate the Dalai Lama's example and pay respect to his life of service on this 6th day of July 2023. We celebrate with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. Now can we welcome Erica Reyes, with the District Director with Congressman Salud Carbajal's office. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Erica Reyes, and I work with Congressman Salud Carbajal in Santa Barbara as his District Director. In celebration of the 88th birthday of the Dalai Lama, we celebrate the profound significance of compassion in our life and in our world. As events around the world seem to grow more grim and more uncertain with each passing day, what we can have hope in is in the compassion of one another. Today we pay tribute to the enduring principles and mission of the Dalai Lama, whose unwavering dedication to compassion has touched the hearts of millions. As we reflect on the teachings, we are reminded of the immense power that compassion holds. It is through compassion that we find the courage to extend a helping hand, to offer words of kindness, and to embrace one another with open hearts. It is through compassion that we create a world where empathy and understanding prevail, where differences are celebrated, and where every individual is valued. Today, let us reaffirm our commitment to embodying compassion in our thoughts, words, and actions. As we cultivate empathy within ourselves and extend it to those around us, regardless of backgrounds, beliefs, or circumstances, let us strive to be the change we wish to see in the world, fostering a global community built on understanding and love. We stand united in our pursuit of a better world, and together let us honor the Dalai Lama's mission and carry the torch of compassion forward, illuminating the path towards a brighter and more compassionate future for all. With heartfelt appreciation on behalf of Congressman Salud Carbajal, I'd like to present a certificate of congressional recognition presented to the Santa Barbara Summit for Tibet on the 88th birthday celebration of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in recognition of outstanding and invaluable service to the community. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Benjamin Peterson up from, he's on behalf of the State Senator Monique Limon's office. So Benjamin, can you join us, please?
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of State Senator Monique Limon, and I'm on her team. And I know that I speak on behalf of the Senator when I say that we echo everything that's been said and support the things that have been said so far. I'm here with a Senate certificate, and I'll just read it. It's presented to His Holiness the Dalai Lama in appreciation of your commitment to global peace, and nonviolent resistance of political oppression and aggression, for your advocacy of the environment and those impacted by climate change, and for the inspiration you have provided to millions of your followers and millions more around the world. Congratulations are conveyed on behalf of the California State Senate District 19, including Santa Barbara and Ventura counties, on this momentous occasion of your 88th birthday. And this is from the Senator. Thank you.
I see Dr. David Moore in the back. I'd like to invite you to come on up and just share a few words with us. It's always a true delight to have David among us.
Wow. The last time I was here, we were all wearing masks, so I feel very liberated. And speaking of the which, when I was listening to the flute moments ago, the melody reminded me of one of the songs of my ancestors. Many of you know that the songs of enslaved people were all about freedom, and even though they were encoded in the language very often of Hebrew scripture and Christian scripture, those words were about freedom. And so here's what I heard while you were playing. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. Anybody heard that before? You can join in if you want. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. Get on board. Get on board. So this is something we all have in common, and why we resonate with the life of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. It's because, for one reason, he had to leave home. And I would dare say that everyone here is here because you had to leave home. Even if it was only an ideological home, or the home of somebody's expectations, perhaps your own, but you had to leave. And it wasn't a comfortable journey because you weren't sure what you would encounter. For you, it was brand new. And so we join our hearts with His Holiness as someone who is an exile, as are we. And this is why we're here tonight, because we are a community of exiles, and we know that we need one another. Even if we have our differences, we recognize that we need somewhere to be. We can be at home. We can be in our backyard, on our balcony. But we sometimes need to be with fellow exiles. And no doubt some of you have had conversations already in our brief time here tonight with somebody, and you saw a kindredness in them, even though you were so manifestly different, perhaps even physically different, linguistically different, but we left home. You know, you should applaud yourself, because it took some courage for you to do you. It took some courage. You experienced some loss, maybe loss of relationship. You experienced some pain to become an exile. but you didn't feel like you had a choice. And so here you are. Here we are. Not even sure where we're headed sometimes. Now, when we got here tonight, someone said about the Dalai Lama that he teaches love, empathy, and inner peace. Don't you find it odd that humans would need to be taught such things when our own survival is connected to them? Why do we need to be taught these things? And yet we do. And we need to remind each other. In fact, let's remind each other right now. Would you just kind of tap somebody next to you and tell them, hey, you're human like me, right? So nobody, thank you. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get too big for your britches. Then you become a hazard to all of us. That's why we have to remind each other. The book that you have there, you gave me that book about a decade ago. And I loved it so much that I gave it to someone who's very special to me. So I will take that one. You know, this has been, Father Larry mentioned how we need to take care of our home. Some of you know that this has been the hottest week in recorded history and beyond recorded history, thousands of years. We need to take care of our home. If we took care of our home, then we wouldn't put Greek folks on their shores in the untenable predicament of having to watch refugees drown before their very eyes. Supervisor Doss Williams pointed out that, you know, there's this effort to extinguish lights all over the world. Not just all over the world, let me say, in Flint, Michigan, and on the streets of cities like Houston and Minneapolis, and at our country's border. We need to remind each other that we're human and that we all want freedom, if not from domination of our home country and culture. Some kind of domination affects all of us, and we just want to be free, not just free-ish. So before I stop, I would like to invite you to articulate what I know that many of you do, the universal sound that recognizes our commonality, our oneness with one another, with all of existence, with the universe. And if you would just put your hands together and just say, Om.
Thank you, David. Say hi to Maddie for me, please. We have someone that's wearing two hats tonight. DC McGuire is here on behalf of Laura Kapp's office and also the Vedanta Center. So DC, please come up and say a few words for us.
Hello, everyone. You know, it's quite a tribute to His Holiness, to the impression and the profound effect that he has on all of us here, certainly, but it's so broad that even when people can't be here, they want to make sure they can add their thoughts and their gratitude for what he means in so many ways with so many people around the world. I was asked by the Vedanta Temple, a Hindu spiritual group, to be sure to say how grateful they are for His Holiness and what He brings in terms of His kindness, of His example, of compassion, of complete acceptance, ecumenical acceptance of everyone, of every faith, everywhere in the world. And they wanted to send their good wishes to His Holiness, that he live a very long life, that 88 years is a good start, but let's keep going, because they just feel like he is a blessing and he contributes to the work, their Hindu practices and their message and the work they do in our community, that he contributes to it, that he's an inspiration, and that they wanted to make sure that this video, which is going to His Holiness, it will be seen by him, as will the guest book as you go out the door. This is not just going through the motions. This is going to go to His Holiness. He will read it. He will know what you say. This is your chance to express your love and appreciation to him directly. So on behalf of the Vedanta Temple, happy birthday. And thank you so much, Your Holiness. Now, the other statement, again, that a proclamation from our 2nd District Supervisor, Laura Capps. She's on a well-deserved vacation, and yet she wanted to make sure that she was represented so that all would be able to know again of her gratitude as well. I'll read to you what it says. It's a certificate of recognition celebrating His Holiness the Dalai Lama in celebration of his 88th birthday. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama will be celebrated by people across the nation, including Tibetan Americans living in Santa Barbara County, who regard the Dalai Lama as an international advocate for peace and compassion. I encourage all Santa Barbara County residents to be considerate of others, to explore ways to promote peace in our community, and to treat others with compassion. On behalf of Laura Capps and the Vedanta Temple, we honor His Holiness.
It's very special to us when we have members of our community, elected members of our community, come and speak words and join us and participate. So we are very grateful. We have one more that is here, Oscar Gutierrez. Please join us, council member.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm really honored. I'm honored to be able to be here with so many of the local spiritual leaders and my colleagues and mentors. Kate Carter's in the audience recording this. She was actually the biggest mentor I've ever had, and ever since I was in high school, she was actually the first one to introduce me to the teachings of the Dalai Lama. She would always quote the Dalai Lama, and I always remember that and carry it with me, especially in my work in the government where I'm trying to represent the people. And I'll keep it short and just say feliz cumpleaños y gracias para todo que has hecho para el mundo y todos los humanos. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have anything to give, but I'll give you my city pin for all the great work that you do for our community. Really appreciate it, because when I look out into the audience here, I see how diverse we are through age and race and gender, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Gutierrez. So in case you haven't noticed, we have a lot of talent in the room. And so with that in mind, I'd like to invite Juliet Brown to come and sing a song for us. And Juliet, I'll let you talk a little bit more about the song. Thank you.
I'll try going here. And thank you, Theppo, for inviting me this evening. Happy birthday to you this week as well. And, blessings to the Dalai Lama on his 88th birthday, who reminds us always that our home is in our hearts. So I wrote this song called We Are Home. Acorn underneath a tree, this inspires me, a deeper way to see. Each day intending on the path to walk along the map of compassionate acts. And so we circle round and round, some sorrow learning on sacred ground, listening to the silent sound of coming home. We are home. We know all there is to know when going fast to slow and trusting, letting go. You're me, and I am there in you, and tree is in us too. So let's expand our view. So may we be beginner's mind, and may we leave the endless nights, and may we be free of painful miles. We're coming home. We are home, breathing home.
It's hard to keep a mental note of how many countries and cultures are in this room. In case you haven't noticed, we're multicultural around here. And so with that in mind, I'd like to invite a special Nepali family to join us. They will be doing a prayer for us. So Karuna, Subarna, and Savina, please come on up.
Namaste, Kasi Dalek, and good evening, everyone. We are from Nepal, which has a long history of Buddhism and Hinduism. We have an offer by Theppo, something to celebrate His Holiness Dalai Lama's birthday, and we are delighted and blessed to be here to do so. So Dalai Lama once visited Nepal, I think it's in 1987, if that I'm right, Lumini, the birthplace of Lord Buddha, and it was strongly attracted, strongly opposed by the protest by the Chinese government. I'll not take long time. Today we are chanting two short Hindu mantras, started with the Lord Ganesh. In brief, if I have to explain, that is stands for like represent as a god of wisdom and obstacle remover, followed by the Lord Shiva's long life mantras, which we will recite 3 times for His Holiness Dalai Lama's good health and long life. 3 times represent mind, body, and spirit, and also to pretend the past, the present, and the future. So we'll start the chant with the Lord Ganesh. Shri Ganeshaya Nama. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprava Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryasu Sarvada. Om Om Trambakam Yazamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanan Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trambakam Yazamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanan Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trambakam Yazamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanan Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om. I forgot to mention that my sister is visiting from Nepal, and she is 82 years young. And my husband is all the way back, Matthew Ayala, in the audience.
Nancy Martin, I don't see you. There you are. Nancy Martin is with the UN, and she will share some words with us.
Yes. Something for the Dalai Lama. And I bring greetings and blessings and happy birthday to the Dalai Lama. Happy 88th birthday. And many lives. This life, a long life, and many more. And this is from the United Nations Association of Santa Barbara City, Santa Barbara County, Ventura County, and San Luis Obispo County. And all sentient beings, too. And also greetings and happy birthday from the UNA USA Human Rights Affinity Group, of which I'm the co-chair. And I have to say, we hope that all beings, all humans, and all sentient beings will be appreciated and respected and have their rights acknowledged. And that means for humans that we accept all cultures, religions, genders, races, and just beliefs. So thank you to a great teacher and a guide. Thank you, Dalai Lama.
All right, who's ready for another song? Where are you, Diki? All right, there she is hiding all the way in the back. Let's give a warm welcome to Diki, who will be singing a traditional song, a traditional Tibetan song.
Music? No. Ready? Damn
Good evening, everyone.
out in the audience for Kevin Young's daughter. Come on up, and I'll let you actually introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Amberly Young, and I'm the daughter of Kevin Young, who is the president of Santa Barbara Friends of Tibet. And when I was growing up, I remember he hosted a group of about 10 Tibetans in our house as they were riding their bikes from San Francisco to Los Angeles as part of a protest. So waking up to all of these monks in my house in their sleeping bags was quite fun and interesting for me. And I had the chance to go to Nepal last year, and I'm just so impressed by the compassion and generosity of the people. We met these two women who lived up on a mountain, 2 miles walk every day to get water, and they offered us tea. So they really touched me for my whole life. And I try to live with compassion just like my dad and the Tibetan community has taught us. And we have a little booth outside with some items that my dad has collected over the past few years, masks and different kinds of art. And all of them, if you decide to buy something, they don't all have prices on them. You can just offer something. And it goes to putting on this event because he made a big donation to get the space for us. So thank you for listening. Namaste.
I would like to invite our local Bhutanese families and Tibetan families to come on up and join us. I believe you have a special prayer for us.
I'll take it just very quick. We're almost 9 o'clock, so we're supposed to be 9, sorry for taking a long time. We did a prayer. I combined this prayer with the great lamas from the different schools from Tibetan Buddhism to head lamas to give a long live his own Dalai Lama. The first was Songtsen Gampo. First is verse is Songtsen Gampo is a king of 6th century Tibetan king, praised for the Avalokiteshvara, which is Dalai Lama. It's a reincarnation of the Avalokiteshvara. And the second verse is from the Sakya Tenzin Rinpoche, Sakya Khomar Rinpoche, composed that to his own Dalai Lama for long life. And third one verses is His Holiness 16 Kamapa Rinpoche, composed that long live his own Dalai Lama. And the last one is fourth one is His Holiness Gyabji Dunjum Rinpoche, composed that to his own Dalai Lama. And the last one is one of the common Gelugpa Lamas together. So I combined all the great Lamas together and to make this prayer to pray. Auspicious. Thank you. And I'm not going to take away, just quick. First of all, enjoy the pastries, all the pastries from the Renault where I work, and the Renault Bakery, Mr. Renault, and all the owners, they're happy to donate that every year, every celebrate. They are very happy to pay. So we're thankful for the pastries. And then also have to thank for so much for my always Heidi and the Emiliano and the Nura and the DC and the Kate and all the Himalayan families, Bhutanese and Tibetan. We have very few Tibetans here. Ajahn Santa Barbara, Ajahn Sri Yangi Santa Barbara. And then we have, luckily we have some more Tibetans in Ohio. Yes, we are all there here. One of the very respectful Tibetan noble family, our Hautara family in Ohio. And then we have a Dorji from Amdo Dorji family and Mandala restaurant in Ohio, their family. They're all here to join. So we have a very appreciative, we all together. And then Bhutanese, this time we have quite few Bhutanese, not much, because most of them went to Bhutan for summer vacations. And then also very, very special, I have to thankful to my heart to Father Larry and David Moore, Reverend David Moore and Radula. They are the very, very special spiritual who leads in this community to make this a peace and also compassion of the love in the spread in this our community. So we have to thank you. And our since now there. Then I have a very good friend also here from the interfaith group here, family represent. And also we have here, Bibi. They thank you for so much coming from all over from here, from the Ventura. And also we thank for here, my good friend here, they came from Edith and Stan, they came from Sea Beach. All the way there, they always come to support, and especially they want me to retire. They always keep thinking. they volunteer. So, and also I have to thank for Sharon. Sharon is one of the very right hand to always support for our community. Then here many our Renault regular good customers all here to join with me and. So I really appreciate they came here to join with us to participate for the good cause. And some Guruji is here, and also a lot of representatives from here to thankful. Please give my thanks to the salute and for the Monique and all, and we really appreciate. And also we have we have to be very special thanks to the Reverend Vietnamese monk. I've been there last time a couple of times. And also I went with the monks, went to travel to all this pilgrimage, all the Vietnamese last couple of months ago, because of my good friend Phillips. He's one of the very good, and he's a very good singer too. Actually, we have a list, but we ran out of time. The next time, Felix is another one list of the best, one of the best singer. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate. And also we have to appreciate, thank for the unity community. Is a very helpful, welcoming here, and also Reverend, thank you for that. And then now, time for the I have one more song from the Emiliano, right? Emiliano and Ngawala. That will be, and and the closing ceremony will be, Radula will do the short meditation, and then we sing the happy birthdays.
So just about 10 more minutes or so.
Only.
Yes.
No, I play. So wonderful to be here. Thank you all for showing up in compassion and love. What I love about all these prayers, my name is Emiliano, peace activist, artist, and just a lover of people in our community. You know, it's so wonderful to see all you here. And love is a language of the heart. We spend too much time in our minds and not enough in our heart. When we're able to drop down into our heart space, anything is possible. That's why love is the answer. So our heart field is where we meet, where those unexplained mysteries and miracles happen, where we connect with people that we feel we've connected with before in a different way. And maybe that's a memory from the future of a connection that we're meant to make. So right now, we've talked a lot, and I'm just honored to be here and share the stage with Nawang Kechog. May we please have just a moment of applause for this master. I'm not a trained musician. I started playing about 18 years ago when the flute came into my life, and Nawang CD was one of my greatest teachers, because I felt how he became one with the flute and the love and compassion in his breath. That might have had something to do with the 4 years he spent in a cave meditating. But it's a serious cat we have here. So I'm just going to play some prayers, recognizing that we are on Chumash land. Thank you, Uncle Art, for coming here and representing. And may all our ancestors be with us.
Actually, I also want to offer a kata to our Rinpoche. I can't believe Rinpoche how many food he has cooked, and really worked so hard. So anyway, I wanted to share you one thing. Rinpoche said in his previous life, he's not going to come back as a Lama. Really, seriously, he said. But then the monastery, they went all the way to the 13th Dalai Lama. This is the 14th Dalai Lama, right? So 13th Dalai Lama said, please, can you order him to come back? Of course, Dalai Lama is the spiritual and temporary leader of Tibet, right? So 13th Dalai Lama ordered him to come. So he said, well, I will come back, but I don't know how useful be as a monastery teacher, you know. But what Rinpoche is doing is really more than that, in a way, because he's trying to protect Tibet's freedom day and night, and cooking so many delicious food. You will love it, okay? And brought all these delicious breads from where he works. And I can't believe that, you know. So I am also, one secret I shared this morning to Rinpoche, I don't tell many people. I'm also recognized as a one Lama by His Holiness Dalai Lama. He recognized me as the Lama called, it's not publicized, okay? I tell time to time to personal, to friends. It's called Gindu Chumbe. Most Tibetan would know that. So anyway, he was who wrote the Kama Sutra, right? He went all over India and he wrote many books. He's known as one of the most learned Lama and quite mischievous. Mischievous, right? Naughty. So anyway, at least I can offer this to thank you to Rinpoche, Kata, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to say something.
Oh yeah, okay. One quick. Before, where's the flower lady here or not? The flower lady, is she here? Oh yeah, here. Come here. Come here. I have to thank for so much. We got so much beautiful decoration with all the flowers, or not only here and outside, everywhere. And what's the name? Annette. Huh? Annette Mitchell. For all the great. So really thank you so much for your beautiful. Thank you so much.
And thank you to the band, the sound guy, magician here. He helped me so much. Thank you.
So now we will conclude just before we to sing the birthday cake, and then the Dula will end up with a little maybe prayer, maybe. And so what I would like to say a little bit about, he just talked about surprisingly about this Gindun, the Kama Sutra, the master, Tibetan master. And they have a little connection with the Santa Barbara. What I can say, because do you know the Lotus land? Now Lotus land used to be Tibet land. The lady, the man became a monk and went to Tibet during 13th Dalai Lama time, and he's well known as the White Lama. And that the land name is Tibet land. And he was who planned, World War II time, planned to bring that particular Lama traveler to bring to Santa Barbara. Unfortunately, that time was World War II, so he was not able to join here. But anyhow, we have Santa Barbara has a very beautiful connection with Tibetan, not long time since the 13th Dalai Lama. And that gentleman is also Howard Lama, who brought the first letter from the Tibetan government to the American president. That's a very special connection with American president. And also now we have a connection with Maya, already talked to you, Maya. Maya's grandmother is born in Tibet. And so we have a lot of, Santa Barbara has a lot of spiritual and harmony connections with there. And Father Ladies already traveled to Ladakh and Dharamsala. And so we have, and I will see, always see that when I see the work in a cafe, I met a lot of good friends who've been to Tibet, who've been to India. So thank you very much. We all together work together for the, not only for free Tibet, free world, and a free yourself, and be compassionate and be a good person. Thank you. Thank you. Offer you this one now, advance. Thank you.
Well, Teppo, thank you so much. And I think when I visited Dharamsala and I had a few audiences with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he told me two things that are really important. One is that he said to me, and I teach meditation with mindful heart programs, he said, don't teach religion, teach science and psychology. I'm a psychologist. And just pure humanity. And I think that is what Teppo also does. He's teaching as a human here in everyday life with every cup of coffee that he is giving to us. And we, in Mindful Heart programs, we try to teach meditation, mindfulness in schools, to people in rehab, to the homeless, and we try to train people to teach others, whether it is religious or just human, and to bring the sacred and the secular together. And I think this is our task now here. And the other thing the Dalai Lama told me is what's most important is interdependence. Every time I go over to Dharamsala, he talks again about interdependence, because he says when we realize that we are all interdependent, then we see each other as kin, as family, and then nobody is left out. And so with that, I want to finish with a prayer on interdependence. Imagine yourself being settled in your body, being settled in this room, sharing all the energy, awareness with everybody here and beyond this house, beyond Santa Barbara, beyond America, beyond, 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 so that everybody in this world, humans, animals, plants, trees, the water, the sky, the earth, everything is included, and everything knows about its interdependence with the whole web of life. And for a moment, let yourself feel that. Feel how you are a pebble awakened in the stream. You are being part of this interdependent web of life, of love, that Teppo carries forward here for us all. And let's bring this web of life, this blessing, this prayer, this love out from the religious institutions and have it grow in the religious institutions, but out into the worlds, in the schools, in all the different places, in the rehabs, in the hospitals, everywhere. We need the Dharma, the prayer, the practice, awareness, everywhere. Thank you, Teppo.
I wasn't scheduled to speak, but there was a story that Teppo told me, and it was about he and the Dalai Lama. I thought it would be appropriate to share it tonight. he told me that, some of you don't know, that when Tepo was 5 years old, he came over the Himalayas with the Dalai Lama to escape the Chinese. And he never mentioned that he was scared at the time, but I'm sure he was as a little 5-year-old, and they were escaping for their lives. Well, Tepo made a decision that he was going to take his robe off and no longer become a monk, no longer be a monk. And he had to go and tell the Dalai Lama this. And he said he was never so scared in his life. And I may be telling this story wrong, but this is how I remember it. So take that for what it is. But he was very scared. He had to go before the Dalai Lama and say, hey, I'm no longer going to be a monk. And he said he got in front of the Dalai Lama, and he told the Dalai Lama. And the Dalai Lama said, well, that's okay. You don't have to be a monk. Tepo was like, I don't? That's okay? And he said, oh, yeah, no problem. He said, but you still have to do the work. And I think we've seen that he's doing that, and he has spent his life doing the work. My wife and I have started a GoFundMe for him and for his retirement. Everybody has talked about how great it is, all the work he does for the community and the Tibetan cause, and all his teachings that he shares. And that's great, but it's not enough for him to quit his day job. And eventually, he's going to want to have some time to maybe devote more to doing this work and maybe a little relaxation. And so we're trying to help him raise money for his eventual retirement. I'm not trying to push you out of your job. I know you love it. He loves where he works. He talks about it all the time. But you can go to GoFundMe and look up Tepo Toku, and donate, share, pass it on. Thank you.
Stan did a good story about my story, to make this a little bit meant with Dalai Lama. Mainly, I want to be hippie Lama. That's why I will take the route. During that time, a lot of hippies in Dharamsala. I became a good friend of hippies, so I became a hippie Lama. And the Tibetans, they don't call me hippie. They pronounce it a little differently, so they call me happy Lama. So I became happy Lama. Thank you very much. And let's celebrate his Dalai Lama's birthday cake. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, your His Holiness. Happy birthday to you. May your His Holiness live for the Mother Sentient Being and the world peace. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I will be happy to sign some book or CD, anything you want, okay?